Hey folks, we're going to do some artwork for the Eberron adventure we're writing, Crystals of Mabar. So give me a chance to check my signal, go through my intro spiel, and we'll lay down a couple hours worth of character art. So let's see, where am I going to go to check my stream? Let's go live and say yub, 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 yub. Let's go live and say yub, 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 yub. Sounds pretty good. Squares and circles. There we go. Click, click. I'm going to go through my intro spiel here, and then we'll start doing some art. So, tonight we're coloring NPC tokens. Exclamation point. Copy. Paste and paste and paste and paste and paste and paste. Okay, great. Hey, my name's Phil Kearney. I create role-playing game supplements, and then I illustrate them. I publish them online. I've been focusing my attention on Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition for the past few years. In the descriptions down below, there are a slew of links to work that I have previously produced and continue to curate over time. There's probably about 150 illustrations amongst the books that are just listed down below. So if you're here just for the artwork, you can check out a crap ton of work that I've done and get an idea of where we're going to go with this guy. If you're a D&D enthusiast, whether you're a DM or a player, almost all the content that I produce has extensive previews for you to get the idea of what it is that I'm presenting here. And if you think the shit's cool, then consider making a purchase. I'd really appreciate it. Other than monetary support by buying my stuff, making books, blah blah blah. You can follow me on Twitter at Phil Kearney if you're still on Twitter. Cheers. But I think the greatest thing anyone can help me with is by hitting the like button, subscribe to help me continue growing the channel. Let YouTube know that long form production things like this are of interest and that the ramble is fun. So in the old tradition of not scripting anything, we're going to fire out some artwork here today. This is the book cover that I created back around episode 40. We're now up at episode 154. So I'm here 6 days a week in the mornings. Right now, Monday through Friday, I do book art for the Spelljammer project that I'm overseeing. On Mondays and Thursday nights, like this, we do Eberron artwork. On Tuesday at lunchtime, we do a game development stream where we're building a new book from scratch using 5e mechanic ideas for martial characters to have magical powers that are completely different from spellcasting. And then on Saturday, I do commissions and personal projects, and I'll be firing up a book cover project for an upcoming adventure out of the Abyss. So, there you go. That's my stuff. When the Spelljammer book is done, this Eberron project is going to become my Monday through Friday morning project. The Martial Powers book that we're working on Tuesday will upgrade to probably Monday and Thursday. Tuesday we'll be talking about Spelljammer because I just published a book so I can babble about it. And then Saturday continues to rotate as I finish projects and pick up new ones. It just keeps rolling through stuff as we go along. So today we are working on, there's 6 plot hooks in this adventure that lead the character to the map location in the world that we need them to be to make the adventure happen. So depending on what plot, if you're running a campaign, the more of a campaign you're running and you're inserting this into your campaign, this is plot hook 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the higher up, the more you want your campaign to be rooted into this adventure rooted into your campaign, the higher of a number you want for your plot hook. The more of just a one-shot, run and gun or heist type of adventure you want to run, the lower in the number that you want. Right now we're looking at plot hook number 1, Ader Academy. We have Professor Lewis Dunk, who oversees artifact research at Ader Academy. Ader Academy is the Carnathy College of Necromantic Studies. So they have all sorts of evil artifacts that they've gotten their mitts on over the centuries. And Dunk is embarrassed to report that one of the artifacts had apparently been stolen out from underneath security, and they need help retrieving it. So it's an opportunity for if your team does heist missions or anti-robbery type things, like let's prove if your trap system can work sort of thing, or if you do bounty hunting stuff, or just a general adventuring stuff, or if you're Karnathi nationalists and this is like maybe you work for Ader Academy, you could use this hook to further entrench yourself in trustworthiness with the faculty and leadership of Ader Academy itself. But if you're doing this as a one-shot, it's just you're just a mercenaries team. You are on the approved list of mercs that Ader Academy can count on in assisting in requisitions when necessary. So your card came up. They give you the mission objectives, and then they drop you into the closest location that they can divine via a plane shift spell, and you're on your own until you succeed at the task. And the task is to retrieve the missing artifact. Go with flesh. Next layer is going to be hair. It's a good mid-tone right there. So we're just putting in flat colors right now, and when we then we'll add in additional layers for highlights and shadow work. And once we have all the color detail completed, we'll merge everything down into a single layer, and then we'll smudge in and work the texture of the line art into the color, so it's less cartoony. There's nothing wrong with the cartoony style. It's just, I don't know. It's just not my. It just doesn't feel done to me if I leave a lot of line art. That style. I dream of a project where it's literally just pencil sketch work, no color, super fast, like 50 illustrations done in a month, like fast. Just crack out the art and see if that's if I've been overexerting myself. I mean, doing color work is a pride and privilege for me, very much so. But I also look at how just long it takes to do it. I know that if I switch down to just inks, just sketch art, that I'd have such a faster production time. But obviously it would be in color. So I guess the only time I do color at that point would be if I did book covers. And I mean, that's a decision I might have to eventually make, but not today. This one's going to be all like DMs. Like when it's on the DMs Guild, it's always color. I just do color. I think it's the expectations on the DMs Guild. It's what sells well for high-end products. I can produce that level of quality. So that's pushing myself to be a good designer. And if I'm going to do Kickstarters, I don't want to fall into the habit of doing quick, simple, easy sketch art all the time, because that's going to limit the appeal of people wanting to jump on board with the quality that I produce. So anyway, I'm talking shop. Hey there. I think I'm got line art here. Lines. This is me settling in a space. I usually talk business up front. What's on my mind, where I'm trying to go, where I see the career going. Me transitioning out of having a 40-hour-a-week job and then doing this as a side hustle for 40 hours instead. Putting 60 hours a week into it with a lot of stream time and build an audience and start working towards that chaos. Let's go with suit. Now, let's look at what color we have on here. Colorblind people don't see color. So here I am. I grab a sample and I borrow off of the colors I see over here on the RGB. So I like this I can do a jacket this color. I'm pretty good with that. One without the other. I honestly don't know how prevalent suits and ties are in Eberron, but it felt like the right thing to do, so I did it. I know I'm just doing block, and I'm going to do some color separation, like change the colors on stuff. Let's block this all in. Suit should be under hair. There. Thank you. Boodaloop. Hair gets trimmed. Thank you. Muse is dropping in. I get to turn off my brain here in a moment. Oh, I should set a timer. Make sure I don't fall into a tangent too deeply. Hold on real quick. We'll set a 2-minute marker here. There we go. 20 minutes on the block. Gonna pour some water. That was the wrong button. There we go. About like that. I don't really need to be paying attention to these edges so sharply. I'm going to end up smudging them out, I'm sure. It's a good base. Let's see, what can we do to embellish what we have? That's monochrome of you, isn't it? Nice dagger, pal. Have Chalice will party. Hey, buddy. Hey, Hornetico, what's going on, my guy? Yeah, nope. This is all very, very monochrome up in here. Let's grab some of this color sample here and play with that instead. This is over the top. like that? Or do I not? Maybe. Maybe that's the right way. There we go. Let's play with this. That's working out. What are you working on these days, Hornetico? What about... No. Did have an idea for your original RPG. Cool. Basically, the idea is breaking it down into manageable chunks and then compiling them all later in a bigger book. Yeah. Yeah. If you get a shitload of core mechanics, all you got to do is just add in the connecting fiber and you're done. So, bravo, man. Way to attack the problem. I see text. Give me a second to catch up with you. Let's clear this block and I'll take a look. You got basically small chunks of core system that can be... Yes. That is a small RPG that about like mounted adventurers, knights on horses or scoundrels on motorbikes. Neat, fun. You know me, I'm a big enthusiast of vehicles. The Eberron asteroid belt campaign that we're just about hitting 19th level in my time travel campaign, so the end is nigh, and so we'll be able to transition. It seems like the team is overall kind of excited. I've got like 3 out of 4 people already bought into the Spelljammer asteroid belt campaign idea for mining crystals in the eyes of Sybaris. Cheers of Sybaris. So it looks like we're going to be able to go ahead with that campaign unless people curveball, in which case I'll adapt. But in session 0, I'll be able to lock them down for certain. But it looks like the energy is heading that way, so I need to start thinking about that. So when the Spelljammer book is done and I start and I push everything forward in the docket, my Tuesday lunch stream will become asteroid campaign development using the Spelljammer mechanics to build all the components, and my guild and kingdom system to build out the mining operation guild that the team will have control over, and then we'll see we'll see what kind of trouble they get into. So, but yeah, it's looking like that campaign is going to actually move forward. So I'm super fucking excited. It's unless they go off script. I know they're players, but assuming that the players don't go completely rogue and just decide to ditch the asteroid mining operation to go attack some village someplace on the planet side, it should be a pretty smooth process. So it's just a matter of building out the guild and all the assets I want them to be able to have in the guild when they hit the different renown levels to uprank the organization, as well as put a price cost of resources instead of gold pieces, because they're going to be extracting ore for sell as a block of resources, and then that resource could be converted either into manpower, equipment and ships, leverage and deal making, repair work, new people, like new crew, recruiting. And did I say that one already? Upgrading content, and then spellcasting / divination information. So there's like 6 or 7 things they'll be able to do with their with the resources when they gather them to spend them, or they can just spend them like experience points to upgrade their guild to become a larger mining operation. But I'll need to break down and calibrate like how much does a combat mech suit cost in comparison to a freight hauler. So like the difference between like a combat mech or a loader mech, that kind of stuff, or like how many resources is a first rank Warforged, like how many can I get for a point of resources, if any, that kind of crap. I'm gonna have to break all that stuff down so that money isn't an issue. They're just mining resources to spend to upgrade their facility, and the cost, as part of, selling the ore. Anyway, you get it. You all get it. I should be working on. Let's work on the flesh. We'll work on highlights there. But I'll have to figure out all that stuff. And it's kind of low-key playtesting alternate mechanics for like a 5e light system. Since it's a lunchtime adventure, I only basically have like 90 minutes per week. I have to be able to break up the different phases of exploring and exploiting a mining rock, as it were. And so this will, I'll have to break down combat and exploration to be a much lighter 5e system, and make negotiations, movements, ship combat, keep it all light and fast. And if I can build that out, then I've got the framework for me to create a complete independent D20 role-playing game that would be so light that you could staple it onto a more crunchy 5e game, or hopefully be able to use it with OSR, Torchlight, Lancer, and I might have to recruit Ukulele Bard again, but might be able to curve it out so that it works with Pathfinder 2 and Starfinder. So we can lock down vehicle and ship mechanics, exploration mechanics, squad commands, ship fleets and movements. Let's see, exploration at any scale. What am I missing? A fairly comprehensive kit. Oh yeah, the guilds and development of organizations. I know that there's Kingmaker that PF already has, but I will argue my system's lighter and more nimble than what Kingmaker is. Not to brag or nothing, but it's pretty goddamn good. So I get to play with that a little bit. Starting to geek out a little bit about the. I can't do that hair yet. Starting to geek out a little bit about the prospect of running a playtest team for Martial Powers. Since Martial Powers is going to be moving forward to the Monday and Thursday slot, I may just have to devote be off camera on one of those days and instead do the playtesting for the Martial Power system, and just to make sure that it works in the first and second tier. I love it in the third and the fourth tier already. It's great. You have a shitload of resources that high up in level, so I have to just make sure that we run a low level game, so that if mana access feels bad, we'll have an opportunity to address that and see what we need to fix. But generally, if something works at high level, you're able to scale it down, you've got something decent on your hands. Most people build small and then try to build up, and then they run into logistic issues or scaling problems at the high end of the game. So if you design at the high end first and then work how to scale it down, you're automatically building in the cap at your high end, so you can curve everything else into it. And it may be, then the issue is it too modest in the beginning? And then that lets you start bending with the ideas that you already have in place to see if there's any kind of resource manipulation that you need to do, like scale back on the total amount of resources they have, but to have like a faster refresh mechanic for it. Little things like that can emerge from high to low in playtesting. So it's time well spent to make sure that it's keyed in, feels good at low levels as well. Tomorrow, lunchtime, I have the thrill of digging into the Path of Wild, the Wild Magic Barbarian. I don't know what the fuck it's called. Anyway, it's the Wild Magic Barbarian. We're going to build that out into the Martial Power system. I am going to have a crap ton of fun with that. I also want to revisit the Path of the Giant that we worked on last week again, because I had some a design revelation in the process of working on that. So I want to go back and readdress it and up the cool factor that we already have, and just integrate that subclass a little bit more deeply into the Martial Power system that we've developed, so that it feels more native to the mechanics that we built. Instead of stapling on stuff, I want to bend things. So if you don't know what that means off the cuff, then definitely tune in with me tomorrow. That'll be in about it'll be at 1 o'clock Pacific. No, it'll be at noon. Maybe even earlier than that. I'll have to check. I've got an appointment I have to catch at 2:30, so I'm not sure when I'm going to need to leave here. So I might start around 11:30 or noon and go till 1:45 or 2 o'clock. So I'll need to spend like maybe 15 minutes on revisiting the Path of the Barbarian, and then we get to focus our time on the Wild Magic Barbarian. And I don't know if we'll have enough time to finish it before I gotta bounce. If that is the case, then I might come back on Wednesday and do a second stream to finish off the job. Or maybe, you know what? Screw that. I'm gonna do a special episode later on this week to revisit the Path of Giants. That way I can give it the time that I want to give it without having to share the time between the two. That might give me enough time to finish the Wild Magic Barbarian. So that's exciting. I'll either do that. I'll probably do that on Friday. I may do it on Wednesday. I expect it to be Friday. So it just depends on how my week tweaks out. Yeah, that's right. fun. How do we want to do this? Right here, and we'll have to work that stuff in. There's that, and then there's this. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Whew. I was working the overall shape of the shadow into the piece, and we'll get more specific with individual clumps of hair as we move through the process. Right now we're just blocking in general shape and form of the structure as a whole, as a rough of a shape as we can. And as we refine, as we continue digging through the process, it refines further and further. Trim that up a bit. Good. This guy looks dope as shit, man. I'm loving this piece. This guy's great. Let's dunk for the win. Just got these little pockets of hair. in here and just dropping some color inside of those to create some depth and little tumble spaces that catch light differently. Hey, welcome to the clock of 8. I should take a sip though. Bonus sip. Let's be like that. There we am. Go into here and blop that out there. Blop. I see text down there. Give me a second. I'll catch up with you when I finish this thought. Hair's all wonky doodle today, yo. There. Yeah. Yeah, he's got that anime flair going. Oh, I gotta fix my chair. Loving it. Now we'll go with the highlights. It's a separate layer. This is all pretty basic cell shading without like a hard break line. It's more like gradient cell because of the way that I use smudging. It's not technically either one of them guys. This guy's got some serious Goku going on. I love it. Just dot this stuff in there, like make little strips, little splotches of color, and then we'll come back through and we'll smudge it into it as a whole. There. And just pepper this in. Yeah, everything's just going to be A-okay here. Hell yeah. Do it that way instead. There. So far, so good. So what? Let's go back down to here. Hey, what's up, Scary Larry? I'm gonna grab that. Very much darker. Scary Larry's got too dark of a disposition here. I have to drop that down to like a 20%. Yeah. Let's make that. Let's make it 50. See how that sits for us. Good. Just want a little bit more dark on the cast. Shadow. Feels more like marker style than anything else right now. It has that kind of smudge. Well, that's because of the opacity I'm using on the darker block shadow. It's the same sort of feeling you can get out of markers in general. That'll start to change once we blend things down. Oh yeah. shadow blocks a little bit with some white hair stipples. Get some fluffiness out of it. And we'll be able to blend the line art into the lighting that we have here. So that should be a little destructive to the effort here, but the end result's going to look good. Should anyway. Go. Perfect. Perfect. Save that. Block it down. Block it down. Lines. Now we're on to the suit. That guy, I tell you. Yet. There we go. I have plans for this suit. I have plans. Such plans, such dirtily dirt. You can ignore me. I'm falling into the inane. Be careful. I have tool tickets at the Tacoma Dome for the Fear Inoculum tour. That'll be I think it's mid-October at some point. I don't remember the exact dates, but we got a decent floor seat near, but not in the mosh pit. I don't even know if Tool has mosh pits anymore. But that's the whereabouts where we're sitting. Whereabouts. Me and my gal, we're gonna grab a hotel for the night, so we don't have to worry about trying to get home. It's about an hour drive to where we're at from Tacoma. We're up north end of Seattle, and it'll take 2 hours to get out of the parking lot if we wait till the end. You're not gonna leave early, so it's best just to grab a hotel and crash out for the night. Grab an Uber, get smashed. Let someone else drive us home. Have fun. The end. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I've never seen Tool live. I'm looking at maybe taking a week off in September, depending on what my workload over here is. Potentially taking a week off in September just to do artwork and stream all day instead of work. I've got some vacation time at my day job stacking up on me. It's time for me to burn some of it down before I hit my cap. So acting like a full-time content producer for a week is a wonderful vacation for a Phil. So we'll see if that pans out. I'm looking at it. I'm kind of looking forward to developing this asteroid campaign on stream. Like, just laying out all the mechanics of it and the rules, and just basically run a playtest with it for a couple of months with my team and see if they like it. And if they get bored of it, then move on. The only problem with having an organization is that there's not any strong emotional connection to any particular character, so the campaign can burn out pretty easily. It's the only downside. And if that does happen, I just switch gears and we just do a new session 0 and try something else. But we were looking at doing an opt-in, opt-out, so that, because we're getting a larger pool of people that are gamers around. So we need to, when we end this, the problem with a 1 to 20 campaign is by the time you get to 12th level, there is so much inside joke and intuitive knowledge about like what's going on with the game, what are agreements that the characters have made, what social obligations have the DM and the players worked out. Like we're not going to summon 12 wolves this battle, but you're not going to hit me with feeble mind. Those little trade-offs that you start making as you start looking at your action economy stacking up in the 5e game, and it's like, what kind of agreements can we make to just nick particular spells from ever being used by the player or the DM? You know, it's fun, but you don't have to worry about it until your character starts scaling up to that level. But honestly, session 0, establishing like minion rules and like summoning rules, that's all really smart to do. It's a very, very smart conversation to have to make sure that no one's building towards something that's going to get yanked out from underneath them a tier or 2 later. It's like, I was building towards that. Womp womp. But then I let everyone respec anyway. Like, if you want to play a different character, if you can, I'll let you switch your complete build if you want. Like, if you were playing a bard and you want to be an artificer instead, that's fine with me. If you care about continuity, then that's up to you to establish how that makes sense. I really don't care. But I'm also fine with people, suiciding their character every session and coming back with something new. Because there's only so much time to explore all the different types of characters that can be. You kind of have to pick your battles. I'd rather have a player 100% engaged with the idea that they were going to get themselves killed in a heroic way, and like looking for that heroic way to get themselves killed as an excuse to build a new character. I love that. I've had one of my best friends. He plays that way. Swaps out characters constantly. Takes one for the team any chance he can get. Yeah, spring a trap. I'll do it. If he survives, he'll do the next one. Like, that kind of mentality is great for a guild campaign, because you don't really care about your individual. You're just looking to progress the storyline and push through challenges at the sacrifice of your hero if necessary. Like, that's the exact type of attitude you want for a campaign that doesn't care about individual achievements. So I'm going to have to find a way to build in some sort of lasting emotional connection for the team. Otherwise the campaign's just going to end up burning out. So we'll have to work on that. Let's go back to the flesh. That feels like gold. It feels like a gold chalice. The way that the RGB array is there makes me feel, yeah. Let's check this one out. Yeah, this one's more like cold steel. It's probably Bieshk, to be honest. Hey, timely timer, keep it kicking. Let's have a sip. Good. Boo-doo. Boom-doom-doom-doom. Let's see, where do we go from here? I like that outfit. Yeah. All right. So I think I'm okay right now. I'm going to do some like skeletal type bone texturing on these white bits underneath these different folds to get the necromancer feel coming out of it without leaving the corporate environment too terribly. So what I am going to do then is bloop, I'm going to actually duplicate this group, merge the group down. So if I erase, it cuts to the entire thing. Right now, I am going to start blending this all together and see how that goes for us. Getting rid of the lines to define the shape is going to force me to rely more on the lighting of the piece, and I know I've shortcutted a lot of the hair stuff going on in here for just easy block. That's the difficulty of transitioning from a comic style into semi-realism. But I do it anyway, like a fool. I can also come through here and erase and clean up now too. Like, none of these lines are sacred anymore. They're all going to get blended in. So whatever makes the most sense for me. And then I'm going to come back through and I'm going to do this highlighting again over the adjusted, quote unquote, adjusted colors for the hair. And we rebalance it with the line art merged in. There's a little lump going on over here, though. I like that. So I'm going with this zigzag pattern across the edge to help tuft and break apart the clumps, to remain clumpy but to not be locks, to be just fluffy doodle things. I don't know what the right word would be. I don't know what the hell a fluffy doodle thing is. Forgive me, fashion, I have forsaken you. It's all panning out a-okay so far. Be able to stitch on that a little bit more. Let me come back through. Trollala, that's looking great. I basically just get the autopilot here for a little while. Just using the smudge tool. The muse knows what she wants to do with it. All I gotta do is just tag along and push the pixels. Drinking while I paint is not a flex. Where are we at on time? It's 8:30. Cool. Got some eyebrows to bush up, but we'll get to those. I'm going to take care of the rest of the face first, and then we'll drop in the eyebrows again on top of it. Kind of naturally transitioning now into working on the face because something grabbed my attention, so off I go. Just doing a little swirl here. My leg is still a little twingy, but I'm out of medication. So luckily I have a follow-up appointment tomorrow afternoon for the docs to check on me, and if they need to give me some more antibiotics, I'll just extend my prescription again. There doesn't seem to be any swelling or heat anymore, but I can still feel tingles occasionally as I shift my weight. So that means it's not completely gone. If it's not completely gone, it could potentially rally. So they have to do an assessment there. Nope. Yes. So far, so good, man. Everything's coming along here. Pretty happy with it. I like this song too. Epidemic's got great music. Right now I'm just blending all this highlight and value shifts together to help smooth out some more humanish. Texture and flesh that curve out just a little bit more for better symmetry. And I'm pretty happy with that. Let's get this nostril in there. Good. 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 Oop, more beard stuff going on down here. You can't get away from me, buddy. There we go. up those lines a bit. Work those in. Get that hair proper. Get rid of that separator. Start working this fabric in too. Very good. Let me get rid of those separators too. Right now I'm just working the rough sketch lines into more solid blocks. Getting rid of unnecessary line art in there. Like so this is becoming more of a mantle than a collar or lapel. Suit felt just a little too modern. I loved how it looked, but didn't feel like it fit Eberron, so I'd rather come up with some fanciful aesthetics here than misplaced fashion. I think I can get away with Rahid here sticking with his lapels, as it were. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels different, you know? Hey, Timely Timer, keeping time with me, hey? Thank you. 8:30. Okay, I've got this. I'll make this my last 20-minute block for the night. We've been at this. How long have we been at this? How long have I been chasing this is? I'm sure I had a good reason. Yeah, we've been at an hour and a half, hour 20, something like that. Hour and 12, Phil. That's what the numbers are reading. So that'll put us for an hour and a half for the night. I'm okay with that. I'm gonna make sure I get some decent sleep in tomorrow for the doc, and so I'll be streaming twice tomorrow. In the morning for the Spelljammer book, we're working on the Ori Navigator illustration, and then we'll have the Path of Wild Magic Barbarian at lunchtime. And then I'm going to bounce for the day and get to the doctor to make sure they like where my foot is at. And then I'll be back again Wednesday morning, assuming that I survive. So wish me luck there, folks. I'm sure I'll be fine. Yeah, in the morning when we get this this navigator picture done, we'll move on to the combat chapter. There's 35 pages there and probably 20 illustrations that we need to do. But I think a lot of them are going to end up being charts. We have to go through the ideation process, and I expect to be doing that this time next week. I think we're going to get that navigator picture and the air envelope diagram completed by Saturday. So we'll be able to hit the ground running next week. The whole new chapter, the whole sketch ideation, building phase for that chapter of Spelljammer. And once we get that stuff locked down, we'll be able to start the coloration process all over again. And once that's done, there's 10 pages of exploration chapter, probably about 5 illustrations that we'll need to do in that section. So it's actually pretty light. So we're kicking through this book, man. Now we still need to resolve the Lattice Araxis conversion, and that's a 25-page endeavor. But it's either tokens we've already got done or diagrams and map stuff. So it's not going to require much actual illustration at all. So we're getting to the grittiest of nitty on hard illustrations we have to do for the Spelljammer. God's willing, it's going to flow pretty smoothly. And if I'm still at it at the end of September, then I'll be able to use my week off to lock the book down and get it launched before October. Longer than I wanted to take, but I always say that about books that sell well. So I'm not really complaining. It means I'm taking the proper time with it. I'm not trying to rush it. So I'm going to end up having to revise it over and over and over again, just because I make updates and I find mistakes, and as I continue to use it, I'll probably figure out better ways to do it. So then I can tinker around with making changes there and implementing them into the book. So when I export the whole thing into my own RPG outside of DMsGuild, I'll be really happy with the final piece. So that's the great thing about PDFs. You can always continue to tweak and update them as you improve yourself. That does make me happy. I'm not really interested in getting into physical books. If I start doing Kickstarters, I don't know how successful I'm going to be at it with just offering PDFs. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. hurting there. I like how this is turning out. Professor Dunk's got it going on. He knows he's the master Shiz Knight. I still need to do, oh yeah, that's right. I still need to do the bone texturing. I don't want to get carried away and like fabric details. It's not going to be fabric for long. It's going to become bone. There we go. That's pretty cool. I might do like a dot, like up the side. Who knows? Who knows? Very good. Nice. I am happy with how this is coming along. Looking good. I'm revisiting my father's funeral. I don't know why. Just popped in there. I have unprocessed feelings about my father's passing. That's nice to know. Just gonna let them escape. Just let them go back to heaven. There we go. I feel like I can probably scoot this in. Something like that. go. Yeah, I'm still pretty happy with that. Okay. Good enough. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. That's the right thing to do. There we go. Cannot piracy itself not be the correct course of action? You get that all up there. I see some text down there. I'll catch up with you in a second. Let me get this shit straight here. What up? Hey, Nitro. It's good to see you, my guy. Just now hopping in. Hey, looks like you've been referencing AIDS. Graceful for color. Is that intentional? No, I'm seeing a slight variation here and there. It's very unsaturated. I didn't know it was actually gray. Huh. Interesting. Well, maybe I'll have to hop that up a bit. Well, saving my ass yet again, Nitro. Thank you. I felt like there was enough color variation in there. This is low saturation. In the shadow. Let's play for a minute. Let's see what we can find. I'm making a couple color mistakes lately. It normally doesn't happen. I'm a touch concerned. Some text kicking at me. I'll catch up with you in a second. Okay. Well, I think this will help a little bit. Thanks for the feedback, guys. I really appreciate it. Honestly, really appreciate it. What if I don't want it to be believably human? Maybe Dunk is harboring another dark sea crot. Under lighting from hell. Pull that back a bit. That's twice now I've screwed up color on this page. Once was down here with the headband and the hair color. That was just me being sloppy. And now this again, me not realizing there wasn't enough saturation in that picture. I just thought it was just desaturated. Not happy with that amount of mistakes. Any mistakes is bad news. I also don't want to set up a precedence where I'm just being questioned about. Because sometimes I will make weird decisions, but I like where they're at. But always be welcome to ask. It's certainly appreciated. There we go. Still not a huge amount of variation, but it's got a little bit more of a color kick. So I think that should be fine. Good with it. Could you add some green to his outfit? I feel like that would be a nice touch to add black and green to his outfits. Huh. Let's see. Well, we got dark, which is going into the black spectrum. Got some tannish going on here. Do I have any samples of green floating anywhere around here for reference? I don't disagree with that. Purples. All right, let's go find. I am open to that. So let's go find a green dragon. Where are we at? 9 o'clock? I can give it a few more minutes. It's worth it. Let us get back into where we at. Okay. How about that? To make the green just a little brighter, more saturated. Probably. I'm going to finish blocking it in first. How about like that? That's got. I like that separation. I think that has a really good punch. Oh god, and it's kind of interacting with his face a little bit. Kind of liking that. That's on his snout. So I'm gonna grab a lower saturation for the shadow. Is that what you were talking about? I'm down with this. Black and green feel really natural for Aether Academy to me. I don't know if that's the official colors or not, but Golgari, the Golgari colors from Ravnica definitely feel like Aether to me. I mean, one would think that like education would kind of like fall into the blue for the pursuit of excellence and perfection, but the Academy is trying to understand the nature of necromancy as well as understanding how to control it. So that's not very blue at all. That's very much black and green. No, it's a mantle, kind of like how this stone this bone, as a mantle. That's what they're called. So I haven't figured out all the things that are going on with it yet. I know that's a bullshit answer, but it's the truth. How's that feeling? A mantle is like it's like a large cloth necklace that drapes over the body. It can have some or no structure to it. Excellent. Well, thanks for guiding me here. Now I have a green dragon in the picture, and that just makes sense for Ader, for Karnath in general. Nice. I am due to be done, but drop that down to there. Glasses here. That anymore? Good. I want to pull in a little bit more lighting. I think it's going to be time for me to watch a rifle again sometime soon. I can feel that percolating in my brain. Septipods are bomb. Where? What did you look up? I looked up, Jamaican professor white hair. Is the skin too desaturated now that the green is so sharp? You find something that you like, throw it at me in Discord, and I will peruse what you find. If you find something you think is gonna be better, there's not that much skin in this pick, so it's pretty easy for me just to go over those highlights and shadows again. But yeah, thanks for asking about the saturation. The skin was too desaturated regardless of the outfit. I feel sending you a pick to your Discord. Cool. I gotta bounce out for now, but I'll take a look at that, and between now and Thursday, I'll probably find something. I'll probably get on board with what you're talking about. So be welcome to lay it out for me if you want. Yeah, saturation is a weakness that I still have. Because I don't understand. I know that like a little bit of nudge on the RGB bar can make a big difference, but I don't know. I can only understand academically, pardon the pun here with Ader, but I can only understand the theory of it. I have zero practical application without the eyes. But I've still got plenty, God's willing, I've got plenty of years ahead of me. So there's possibility that I can get it right in time. Get by with a little help from my friends. Oh, I like that trim. That feels really, really good. All right, I'm going to kick out of here for the day. I'm going to check out that pick, but we'll come back and we'll have a little education behind it when we're back on. We'll be back doing this next Thursday. I'm going to be back in the morning in about 9 hours for us to continue Spelljammer artwork. I will then have tomorrow at lunch, we'll start working on the path of wild magic for the barbarian. And we'll just keep hammering at all this shit until we get something done and we move stuff around. So, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate y'all being here. And I will see, hopefully, y'all later. Laters.